Alright, so we're on a Peugeot 206, some Mrs. Piggies, and we're going to fix a very common problem on, I'll put my neck out there and say on all Peugeots, all cars to be honest, with suspension like this. So this here is Droplink, tie bar, loads of little names for it, anti-roll bar link, and it basically links the suspension strut or suspension at the front there, and it links it with the anti-roll bar which comes along here. Pretty basic setup. It's got a joint at the top, a joint at the bottom, and the most common problem you'll get with these when you get a knock at the front is these joints. So if you can see that or even hear that, but basically a lot of play in that one. Pretty common, they're pretty cheap to buy. I got a pair for about a tenner. They're pretty simple, bolt the top, bolt the bottom. So let's go see what tools we'll need to do this. Today we're going to do Droplink, Peugeot Droplink. Tools you're going to need, these can vary, but basically the centre of the thread, the bolt as you like, will have an Allen key head hopefully in there. These are 5mm, so that's what I've got there. And then the nut itself, 17mm ratchet spanner will be really useful. Also on a socket is also handy to get it moving. If you've got an air gun, that would be even easier. Sometimes they don't have that, and instead you need to get, you can see there, there's a little flange on the back of it. Or if they haven't got a flange, mole grips, vice grips, whatever you want to call them, to get on the back of it to hold the joint to make it come undone. So there we go, that's all you're going to need. Pretty basic, probably the simplest little suspension fix that you'll need to ever do, hopefully, if they actually go loose, which they will. So all we need to do basically undo these two nuts. One there, one there. You're likely to have to just stick something in the middle, which will be an Allen key in this case. If there's not one there, there's often a flange on the back behind that boot. Bit easy to see over there. You can see that. Oh, there we go. Behind that boot there, sometimes there's a little flange in there. You have to peel back the boot, or you get the vice grips in there. Basically, the joint's likely to spin, so you have to hold the thread while you take the nut off. An air gun and buzz it straight off, but I haven't got an air gun, and it's unlikely that if you're a DIY enthusiast, you won't either. So, let's get them undone, see how we are. Right, so here's your problem. When you come to undo them, see that? It just spins and spins and spins, basically. So you have to put the Allen key in the middle there to stop it spinning, or you put a spanner on the back, or vice grips on the back to stop it spinning. Sometimes the top one isn't so easy because there's not enough room underneath, no matter where you put the strut, to get the spanner in to be able to ratchet it undone. So instead, you use the open end of the spanner, hold the nut tight with the spanner, and turn the Allen key. So you obviously have to turn it clockwise to work it through the nut. So that's the case of what we're going to do here. Obviously I've got only one hand, so I'll need to now put the camera down. Now, the likelihood is, I've got both nuts off, is that it's still quite firmly in there. So you'll need to take the tension off the anti-roll bar, because the other side, obviously there's tension from the other wheel being on the ground. Even if you jack it up, there's still some tension just from the spring rate. So all you got to do is just basically lever down. See if I can do that one-handed. It's not a handy lever, but there we go. Lever it down on the anti-roll bar, and if I can, there we go. Now it's out. Squeeze my hand in the way, so now it's out. Switch hands, there we go, and there we go. There's your old one. Check it's the right length. You find like ones like 3 or 6 ones, actually the joints go opposite each other, so you have to keep an eye out for that. And we'll put the new one on now. Same procedure, hold the centre, do the nut up. It's a bit tricky obviously that top one, so we'll need to use the flange on the upper one, I expect on the back, just to hold it to do. Now if you have got a buzz gun, don't do these up with a buzz gun, it's not a good idea, you'll ruin your joint straight away. Same procedure as well, you might just need to put a bit of pressure on the anti-roll bar while you connect it up. Right, let's put that new one on. There we go, and by the wonders of editing, it's fitted. Don't try and use old fitments, old nuts, because I don't know if you can see there's a nice nylock nut in there. That nylock nut is pretty important, obviously holding it nice and safe, not coming undone and it's rattling around everywhere. And also by the wonders of editing, you notice a thicker anti-roll bar being fitted. I've actually done the tie rod the other side and the anti-roll bar. It's only 2 bolts underneath, and we've had this sat around the garage for ages, so first of a few little upgrades on this car. But anyway, that's the Droplink anti-roll bar link A number of different names given to it. That's the two I would most commonly call it. And you only need a few tools. One to get the wheel off. You'll need obviously a jack and something to secure the car, and then a spanner and an Allen key just to secure, or a set of grips just to sit behind, as you saw. Simple as that. So if you want to click anywhere here on the drop link right now, I'll put a link to other guides, and if you see the outro to this video, there's a link to my channel. So thanks for watching, and hope you have fun fixing your Peugeot. Power!